Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And as you can see, I'm back here in the garden. We've started several beds, 3, 5 beds. It's a mango tree, not bearing fruit, of course. This is an area that we just cleared because this is where I want to start the garden, the big garden. So all of this area here, this is pretty much where we start the seeds and then we'll transplant them. Start the seeds here and transplant them to other areas of the land over here that are cleared off or will be cleared off. This is a lot of burn piles that will be burning so we can start our garden. Over there will be more garden. This is kind of, as you can see, it kind of dips into a hill here. So we got over there where we'll be planting as well. And just behind that line is the creek. So we're preparing. We're preparing to feed self, be self-sustainable. I was watching a guy who just got furloughed from a 6-figure job in DC. I think when Elon Musk and Donald Trump did their shakeup in DC this past year, he was one of the ones that was affected by that, and he lost his job. Now he's military, a veteran, so he gets a check every month. But regardless, when you go from having a 6-figure job, even while getting a check every month from the veteran department, that's a major blow. This guy has experience in IT, and it's hard for him to get a job. He said he couldn't even get a job at Best Buy. So my thing is, if it's hard to get a job out here and there's a lot of layoffs and the economy isn't doing so great, what are you going to do when there's no way to feed yourself? A better question is, if you don't have a job and you have a piece of land that's paid for free and clear, how will it matter if you even need a job? I say no, because I quit my 9-to-5 life. I quit the job life just to come out here to have freedom. Freedom from the grocery store, freedom from the utility company, freedom from the water company, freedom from the grid. Freedom to be in control of my life and which direction it go. Freedom to not have to worry about a job and if they hire me or fire me and if I have enough qualifications or if I have too many qualifications or they willing to not hire me because they can't pay me what my resume says I'm worth. When will we wake up to the realities of 2025 when we have to do for self? We have to come together with like-minded people, grab and start communities and start to prosper in that manner, because the government isn't looking out for your best interests. Those senators, those people in Congress, they're looking out for their best interests, getting reelected, making sure that they could continue to put their family through, their kids through college, go on vacations, so on and so forth. Everyone's trying to protect their best. Most people are trying to protect their best interests. Meanwhile, you are trying to find a job. There's nothing wrong with having a job. There's nothing wrong with utilizing a job to get to where you're trying to get to in life. The problem is when we get into these jobs and we become dependent on them, every other week we dependent on that paycheck because we have spending habits that aren't conducive to us getting out of the rat race. Or we have vices that aren't conducive to us getting out of the rat race. That's the problem. The problem is when we don't take those monies that we get from these Fortune 500 companies or these mom and pop companies that we decide to dedicate our hard work in life to, and we don't use that money to build and buy things that are going to appreciate. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to invest. I'm not a multi-millionaire. Whether you believe it or not, I'm not a multi-millionaire on paper. Now, when it comes to health and wellness and wealth, body and all that, yes, it's infinite resources with this. But when it comes to paper, I'm not a multi-millionaire. I'm able to come out here, buy multiple cabins, a piece of land free and clear, and not have to worry about any expenses every month, not have to worry about paying any bills every month. There's nothing that says multi-million-dollar about that. What that says is I know how to strategize, I know how to plan, I know how to implement that plan, and I know how to budget, discipline. And I have a vision. I have a vision to do for myself. My camera broke a few days ago. This one that I'm actually working on, it fell, my fault. I usually use it was my fault. So I'm not in a state of panic because I got my phones, and you know, it's just like, damn, do I got to make a flight to go to Miami real quick, go to Best Buy and get another? That's how my mind goes, because there's nothing here in Belize that's going to allow me to get no camera like this. Unless I order it, has to go to a location, then it has to come here. And who knows if it's going to get here, because I've never ordered anything. I need to start ordering stuff, little things from Amazon, just to see what the process is like to get things here. But even still, talking to you guys about everything that I'm talking to you guys about, yes, I'm off grid. I still need several more battery packs, because let it go 2 or 3 days with no sunlight, I'm still able to get energy because the sun still emits energy, or what's that, UVA or whatever it is, to the panels, but just not enough that I need. So I'm telling you, or asking you, what are you going to do? What am I going to do if it's 3 or 4 days of rain? I can still continue to eat because I still have food outside. But when it comes to power in the house, I can't do that. And that's okay. And that's okay. But I have to think about getting 2 or 3 more battery banks in this house, or on this house, so I can have power for days if there's no rain, if there's no sun for days that's peeking through the clouds. Because even on cloudy days, we still get some energy. It's just not as much as, you know, there's no clouds, of course. But right now, man, we building. We're not complaining. We're not crying. We're not getting lost in the mix. We're not, I don't want to say gossiping, and you know what I'm saying, because every once in a while I have my opinion on some of these guys that really don't. That's another topic. But yeah, I give my opinion, just like everybody else do, or most people, you know. But in 2025, we got to wake up to the reality that our House of Representatives, our governors, Congress, they all have their best interests. And we have to stop putting a lot of pressure on them to perform. And we have to start going back to our Constitution, to our law books, and getting a basic understanding of what it takes to be an American. Yeah, I'm in Central America right now, and I need to find out more. I need to get myself more in tune with the Constitution as well, although I do read it. I do read it. But the problem isn't reading it. The problem is knowing how to enforce it. How do you enforce the Constitution? You know what I'm saying? How do you enforce your rights? Because it don't matter if you know the Constitution line for line if you don't know how to enforce it, you know. But nah, man, let me know what y'all think about my beds. This is some old, ancient ways of doing beds. I mean, they use all natural stuff. Cut down the trees from here, used everything. Like, this is incredible. So they used the trumpet tree, and they created some beds. And like I said, these are the starter beds. The starter beds. We'll transplant everything in the open spaces after we get everything burned. Burn piles will probably be in the next week or two, you know, within the next week. But yeah, man, I'm overly excited about this position of being able to do for myself. You look at people on YouTube like DoDash, Dante London. These guys are from job to job, you know, or looking for jobs or asking for help, which is nothing wrong with asking for help. But that's to show you a hustler. Like DoDash, somebody that has energy, you know what I mean, and is going through it. The guy I was telling you, the military guy, these guys can't find jobs. Ace is cool. The guy said he's cool because he got a military check. But beyond that, it's like, what are you going to do if there's no income? I don't have no income. I don't have no income coming in over here. I don't have no bills either. Got my cell phone bill every month. I have Wi-Fi bill that I use for my little jetpack thing that I get from these people here. Immigration every month, they charge $100 US. You know, so altogether I probably got about $300 some worth of bills. That guaranteed bills that I don't want to say have to pay. I don't have to pay a cell phone bill, but unless I want to use a cell. But those are about $300 some worth of bills that I have every month, guaranteed. I don't have a car payment. I don't have car insurance. I don't have a house payment. I don't have house insurance. I think I have property taxes at $18 a year. I don't have electricity. I don't have water bill. I don't have food payment if I don't want. I can go to the grocery, look, of course I go to the grocery store for little things like soap and dish detergent and, things that I want to get that aren't able to be produced out here. But for the most part, I'm relying on me and getting myself more used to that. Because when you cut off somebody's supply of food, you're basically starting a war. And if you don't have your own food, you are going into war without a weapon. And with that, I'm gonna let you guys digest that for a minute. Food for thought. This is See Thy Wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water.